outrage is brewing for the White House initiative on Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders for honoring the late Maoist Yuri Kochiyama, who praised Osama bin Laden in 2003, then saying, quote, "I consider Osama bin Laden as one of the people that I admire. To me, he is in the category of Malcolm X, Che Guevara, Patrice Lumumba, Fidel Castro. I thank Islam for bin Laden. America's greed, aggressiveness, and self-righteousness and arrogance must be stopped." Here to react is the co-author of Black Eye for America, Dr. Carol Swain. Carol, it's always great having you on the show. Welcome. I mean, this is a pretty brazen selection. They're not even hiding their sympathies for communists.
No, they are not. And I believe that this is the most anti-American, pro-communist administration in America's history, and that we all should be concerned that this is being done out in the open. And if you look at President Biden's foreign policy, it seems to be geared to empowering China, communist China. And we see human rights abuses in the U.S. with the January 6th protesters. We have Americans being denied their human rights right here in America when it comes to due process. And so we need to stand up and take note that this is becoming a country that's anti-American from the very top. We have people in office that should be tried for treason.
No, you're right. I mean, every day I think we're looking more and more like a communist country. There's a censorious culture that we're breeding, and you're right. Many people, including those in the January 6th in particular, who haven't been given their due process and are still being held as if they were in, as political prisoners, essentially, just like they do in Cuba and other countries in China. Carol, what does this tell you about where we are as a country and what we should do? Because I saw this appointment. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. But what do we do?
Well, I can also tell you that this started during the Obama administration. They started honoring people that should not have been honored. And so it started back then. It continues under Democrats. I think Democratic voters out there, people who support Democrats, need to take a long, hard look at their party and at our country, because the United States of America, the country that I've loved all of my life, it doesn't seem to exist today. And I think that if we want to get our country back, we're going to have to awaken to what's taking place, and we're going to have to do things differently. And as a Christian, I can say that there is not a political solution to what ails America and what ails our world, that we do need to return to our Judeo-Christian roots, because at the end of the day, we have people who are immoral, who empower pedophiles. We see what's happening with the U.S. Supreme Court, that there are no standards, there are no moral standards, and this race agenda that we talk about in our book about CRT, it is destroying our nation. Do we want our country back? If we want our country back, we need to stand up and take note. And it doesn't matter which political party you're in, you're not going to like living in a communist regime.
Amen to that, Carol. I agree. We're in a spiritual battle. And the first step is admitting that we have a problem and that what has happened over the last couple years is not normal, is not America. Carol Swain, you're a voice of truth and justice, and we appreciate you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right.